Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Saturday, February 11th, and we are here taking financial questions out of your head and putting those questions into actionable responses. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that whatever has got you maybe losing sleep, worrying, or maybe suffering from overconfidence, maybe not the lack of confidence, whatever it is that's bubbling around, we'd love to help you out. All you need to do is go to JillOnMoney.com, click on the Contact Us button, and then you just write out your note. And if you would like to come on the air live, all you do is check the box. If you do that, Mark does everything else. So today we are talking to Michael from Minneapolis.
I'm just curious about my situation in terms of I retired a couple of years ago. I'm just curious about a withdrawal strategy, I think, more than anything. In terms of that adjustment to go from, having a steady income, a good income, to now just living off investments. I have very little income coming in currently.
Okay, so tell me, how old are you, Michael?
So I just turned 50.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are now officially
old.
No, I was going to say you're officially in the high wisdom category. Okay, so tell me, how much money did you save up in anticipation for this? What do you have right now?
So I'm currently at a net worth about $830,000.
Fantastic. Well, tell me about the expenses. What do you actually need from this portfolio?
Well, I'm single, no kids. I, live very modestly. I think that, growing up, just very conservative with my spending, and just, I live very lean, very modestly. And so there aren't a lot of expenses, but I've got an addiction to travel. That's probably my biggest expense, I would say.
Okay.
And, that's a little daunting, I think, just given the fact that, travel's expensive.
Sure.
Other than that, really, I'm debt-free for the most part. I have a dog and, that's about it, really.
Okay. You said debt-free for the most part. Which is the part that's not debt-free?
Well, and this is the situation is that, I'm using credit cards now for my expenses without having a dedicated withdrawal strategy. So that's really my intention here over the next few weeks, to sit down with somebody and talk about what makes the most sense to actually, if I calculate my expenses based on, kind of the 4% rule, I'm right there.
You can do it.
And so I can do it.
Right.
But again, it's going from just continuous withdrawals to where I'm at now is very, it's hard.
Any part-time work that you could do just to beef this picture up a little bit, just like something fun or something that'll keep you engaged?
And I do. I'm an ideas guy. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm trying to get a travel business off the ground. There's very little, income coming in from that right now until I get that up and running. I teach pickleball, which brings in some income.
Yep.
And I drive for Lyft. I do a few things here and there, and so there absolutely are ways.
Okay,
and,
that's good.
If I look at that, Jill, I could be around $1,000 a month.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I actually wrote that down. I wrote down expenses, $2,000 a month, and then I wrote down $1K a month. So if you could essentially create some, $1,000 a month of income. Of course, you have to pay tax on that. And then you now are pulling your withdrawals back to, another $1,000 instead of $2,000 a month from the $830. I sure would like it if it were just $1,000 a month and you were just hustling to get the other $1,000. Or if you found yourself traveling and it cost like 1 year instead of being a really smart, frugal traveler, you splurged a little bit, that it wouldn't blow through your budget. I think that that's kind of what I would be looking at. Now, let's talk about the types of accounts that you have right now. Of the $830, what is in a taxable account that you can get your hands on?
Yeah, so the non-qualified is about $500,000 of that.
Great.
Then the balance would be, an IRA and a 401k that I still had left over.
Okay. Are you going to move the IRA and the 401k? Are you going to consolidate those in one place just to manage it more seamlessly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the plan. And sorry, I should have said Roth IRA is what I meant. Instead of 401k.
Okay.
Sorry.
So wait a minute. So of the IRA, 401k, Roth IRA, how much is in money that has not yet been taxed?
That's about 30% of the 830 that I mentioned.
Okay. Because obviously when you're not making a lot of money, now could be a very good time to convert some of this money into a Roth, which I think would be great for you. The general trend that I would look at is that if you are going to, ideally in the next 10 years, have converted all of your money from tax deferred into Roth money, that would be great. It's going to eat up some of your taxable account, but I think it's still worth doing. And then you would be pulling first from the taxable account, and I would always have the $25,000, $30,000, I'd always have some money in cash. You need to have that money sitting there for you, and that you would replenish that account, maybe once or twice a year. Try to really adhere to pulling $1,000 a month out of the total rather than $2,000, because I think you're so young. I mean, you could live for 40 more years. Instead of saying the 4% rule, I would be looking more like the 3% rule for you, because you're so young. And that's also because I am a wimp, but it's also that we don't really know what's going to happen for you. If all of a sudden you're like, you know what, Jill, I am actually making $2,000 a month and I don't have to touch this account, your situation is going to look better and better. It just will. So I think that anything you can do to drive some income and then think about using the taxable account to first fund, until, probably pretty much for the next 10 years to be that's where you're tapping. I think that makes most sense.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Now don't blow it.
Withdrawal should be from cash. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And then you may want to rebalance once, twice a year so that you always have enough money in cash to do the things you want to do. So that's.
And where would the money come from for to fund the cash reserves?
Let's say that you have in a year, the market went nuts. I made a lot of money in my taxable account. In rebalancing, what's the goal of rebalancing? You take the money that has gone up and taken you out of your balance, right? Your allocation gets out of whack. You're tilted more towards stocks. You take that money and you say, okay, some part of it has to go to cash because I always have to have my, 30 grand in cash. Some of it has to go in bonds, and then you reinvest in the areas that have lagged. In your reallocation and rebalancing process, what you really have to keep in mind is cash is an asset class for you, and it is a vital one. And that's when you are funding your cash account.
Got it.
Okay, if you would like to join us live on the program, like Michael, all you need to do is go to the website, JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button, write out your note, and don't forget to check the box marked as everything else. While you're on the website, don't forget, you can order my book. It's called The Great Money Reset. You can get it from a variety of different places, wherever you get your books. If you want the Audible version, you want the audio book, I read it, that's fine too. Whatever way you'd like this content, we want to deliver it to you. The Great Money Reset is available right now. And we haven't asked for this in a while. Could you leave us a rating and review on Apple? We would very much appreciate it. Do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.